The world isn't bothered about the efforts you put in, but about the impact that you create as a result of those efforts. So, if you have been taking a lot of efforts at the workplace that has gone unnoticed, ask yourself if you have ever talked about the impact. If you haven't, today I will be sharing 3 things you can do to talk about the impact instead of the efforts and skyrocket in your career, especially in the tough times that we are in right now. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm your host Amit Chalka. Welcome to another exciting episode of the 10x Career Show where I talk to you about the proven strategies for grand breakthroughs in your career. In today's episode, we will be discussing 3 surefire ways to skyrocket your career during unprecedented times by talking about the impact you create. First, learn the art of pictorial representation. A picture is worth 1,000 words. You've heard this a lot of times, isn't it? This holds true not just for the people who do creative work, but for everyone. So, whatever you do at work, you need to be able to showcase in a form of a visual. It need not be too complicated or fancy. In fact, just keep it very simple. Easy for you to make it and easy for your audience to interpret it. It should be able to give you a clear picture of the work you are doing. The present status, the challenges if any, progress so far, and the plan to complete. Visuals trigger people's ingenuity. Your manager would thus be intrigued. As a result, you stand a better chance of being heard and appreciated. In the times we are in, it becomes even more crucial to pictorially represent your thoughts so that the audience gets quickly to understand what you're saying. Your approach becomes clear in a jiffy and you stand a better chance of being accepted. Second, be aware of the bigger picture. The work that you do always impacts the organization as a whole. It thus becomes imperative to be aware of the bigger picture and not just stick to the boundaries and the assigned tasks. To do so, begin by asking yourself a very simple question. How does the work I do affect the organization's top line or probably the bottom line? Maybe you're not able to arrive at the answer in the first go, which is fine. To make it easier for you, you could probably ask yourself yet again, what is the negative impact of you not doing what you do? Probably now you are able to get the answer. The answer to this question will help you get started. And when you arrive at the impact on the organization, that's a bigger picture, use a pictorial representation to talk in favor of the organization growth. This is the exact language your manager and his manager would want to hear. Third, validate if you're doing it right. All humans are bound to make mistakes. You are no exception. You may go wrong, and the only way to know is by talking to your manager about it. What you are working on as a priority may not be important according to your manager. The impact that you're trying to show may not be the impact that is actually getting created. And usually, you get to know about it only during your appraisal discussion. That is a time when you cannot do anything about it. What was done has been done. There is no way to reverse it. To ensure you don't get into this situation, you need to talk about the impact of your work with your manager throughout the year. Remember, no communication is over communication. So talk, get to know what your manager thinks. The best way to go about it is to take initiative to set up a time with your manager on regular intervals. You could choose any interval you like, but I suggest once a month at least. A month's duration is a good time for you to create tangible impact, to talk and seek your manager's guidance if you are not progressing in the right direction. If you're not, you can take corrective action when there is enough time to do so. In conclusion, to talk about your efforts in the number of hours that you have put in worked well for the factory worker. As a knowledge worker, you think for living, and thinking cannot be quantified. Thinking isn't tangible, but the results that you create definitely are. And if you ever get stuck, then you can always write to me at amit@designyourcareer.co.